Morning, everybody. How are you doing? Oh, there's some random message. Okay. Good morning. Happy Monday from Santa Barbara. I hope everybody's day is off to a good start. If you're like me, you're just getting up, getting ready to go. I'm going to be out the door in a little bit, but before we go, let's foam roll. So for today, you'll need a foam roller. This is mine. This is one of many I have. And you also want a ball, lacrosse ball, softball, tennis ball, something you can put between your body and the floor. We are going to start with our legs. So I'm going to put the foam roller down here, and I'm going to slowly just roll down the length of my leg, and I'm going to find a tender spot, something where I'm like, oof. I'm just going to put my other foot over it, and we're just going to hang out. So I set a timer for roughly every 45 seconds, we'll switch positions. So the idea is that you'll use the first 10 or 15 seconds to find a sweet spot, and then you use the remaining time, just hold there. If you need to release, not use so much pressure, you can take a leg off, or you can just sort of adjust your body to sort of put more or less pressure onto the foam roller. For long muscles, like the calves and thighs and stuff, I'll take 1 or 2 spots per body part, and then others will just have 1. So we're gonna get switching in 2, 1. So I'm gonna roll up my calf a little bit more. Oof, right there. So usually you wanna find the most tender spot or spots. And it's good to just sort of hold it for about 30 seconds. So when I first learned about foam rolling for my CPT, they call it self-fascial release. And now they don't call it that anymore because supposedly the muscle doesn't actually release. So, what is it now? Self-myofascial rolling. I think they just replace the R with rolling. In about 8 seconds, we're going to move to the other calf. All right, so if you're not sore in a particular area, you can feel free to move on and work on a spot that's a little more sore. That's my next calf spot. Or you can, use this time however you want. Maybe all you needed was just the point to show up and get here and get started, and then you can just do your own thing. You're gonna get close to me. But if you're here, good morning. It's good to see you. It's been a while. I've been taking a break from YouTube videos, but I wanted some motivation to foam roll, so I decided to stretch with you guys a little bit this week. Let's switch position again. If you want to move on to your hamstrings at this point, you can. My hamstrings tend not to be very tight. Usually I'm more calf and quad and IT band. Oh, it's going to be fun. And by fun, I mean not fun. Anyway, what was I saying? So I haven't been doing a lot of YouTube videos lately. I have been focusing on my effective exercise specialization. I've also been focusing on injuring myself thoroughly, which is part of the reason why I need some foam rolling. I had some aerial injuries, some of them just repetitive use things that have been sort of making me feel funky. All right, we're going to switch to hamstrings now. So I don't do my hamstrings very much. So I'm just going to do one position on each hamstring. So I'm going to hold here. So one of the things you want to keep in mind as you're foam rolling is that you don't want the rest of your body just sort of slump or whatever. You still want to keep core engagement and good posture so that as you're foam rolling, you're not messing up something else. Lord knows, we're all messing things up. So yeah, I was hitting the area pretty hard, and then shoulder and my back have been bothering me, so I'm actually taking a break from training, which is driving me nuts. And let's switch position. I'm gonna go to the other leg. Again, if you need more time on that leg, if you found a lot of stiff places you want to roll out, go for it. After this, I'm going to flip over and go on a quad, so just so you're aware. So for example, while I'm pulling this position out, I want to sink into my shoulders, still want to keep good posture. Like, oh man, that sucks, we're going to hold this? Yeah, I know. Great thing about phone rolling is that you're just hanging out, so this is a good time to contemplate life, chit chat. I'm gonna flip over in 2 seconds, and here we go. You're gonna start near the knee, roll up. If you want to go the other way, that is totally fine. I'm gonna start right about there, and just hang out. As you're doing that initial rolling to find your tight spots, don't go real fast. Just they like to say an inch a second is the proper rolling rate for the discovery phase, as I call it. Discovering what is painful. Let's see, what else is new? Yeah, so we're gonna do some stuff with the ball later, time allowing. Let's roll down a little bit more on another tight spot if you need it. So my old guidance was you find like the tightest spot on the muscle if you have a very long muscle like rolling out. I like to do 2. If I'm feeling really tight, I might do more than 2 points. You can do as many as you want. Typically holding on the roller from 30 to 60 seconds is considered beneficial. Doing more won't necessarily do much. So, people are like, should I just hold it for like 5 minutes? And I was like, well, you can. You're not really going to get a lot of benefit. So I'm going to roll onto my side, and now I'm going to do my IT band. Oh, goodness. This is painful for just about everybody, I think. I don't know if I found anybody who doesn't have a tight IT band. So rolling onto the side. All very nice. I hope you're enjoying this posterior view. Hello. "15 more seconds, and we're gonna do one more spot. So pick your spots carefully. And if you're not tight here, just feel free to move on or do something else, or maybe go back to a spot that can use a little more attention. All right, here we go. Rolling into, That sounds all right. How do you tell if someone's phone rolling? The sounds of profanity emanating from the room. "20 more seconds, and I'm going to switch legs. Here to join me. You can tell that I'm using my arms here, my hands for support. Still trying to keep everything engaged. All right, let's flip over, other side. So what else is going on in Junior Action Fitness Land? I didn't put it in there, but I still have my weekly newsletter. So if you want to find out what's going on with me, you can sign up for the newsletter. I was lazy and didn't put it in the description, but basically go to any other video and you'll see a link and you can click on that. I know that's asking a lot. It's a lot of work to go click on something else and then click on something else again. Well, that's okay. We're going to move in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's move down the leg or up the leg or whatever you're doing. Ooh, there we go. It is raining here in Santa Barbara, and for us that's amazing. Any other place I lived, be like, yeah, rain, whatever. But here it's like, rain, oh my God, rain. And it's also very exciting because we also got snow at some of the higher elevations, starting at 1,000 feet. So if you look at the images of Santa Barbara right now, it's very cool because you'll see the mountains and you'll see that the highest mountains are covered in snow and the lower ones are not. But it looks really pretty. All right, we're gonna switch. Time for that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we're getting precipitation, our reservoirs are full, things are actually overflowing because we've got so much rain this year. And yeah, I think we got like another 2 or 3 inches of rain last week, and then it just keeps coming. So I don't think the drought is officially over, but we're doing pretty well this year. But also in Santa Barbara, since everyone, snow is such a novelty, they were trying to close the roads. All right, let's move. Ooh. They closed off the roads in the mountains because they didn't want people driving around in the snow, because no one here knows how to drive around in the snow. But everybody wanted to take their kids to go see snow, so they all went driving around in the snow, and then there are always accidents, and people's cars getting stuck because no one knows how to drive in the snow here. It's so funny. As for me, coming from the Midwest, I'm like, I have seen so much snow, I'm good. I like looking at it from afar, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. In 10 seconds, we're gonna sit on the foam roller to do our piriformis. Ooh, goodness. 3, 2, 1. Come on up, have a seat. So I'm gonna go back a little bit, get centered. Then I'm just gonna lean into the one side. The ball is also very good for this. Back when I had piriformis issues, I was sitting a lot at work, and I was just always sore. And I would actually sit on the ball at work because that was less painful than just sitting without the ball. And so the day I took it to work, I had to go to a meeting, and I sat up, and the ball was there. And my coworkers saw that and said, "Did you just lay an egg?" No, I did not just lay an egg. We're gonna go to the other side in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So right now I'm just sort of doing these static holds on the foam roller. We get to the upper body, I might show you a couple of moves. So while you're maintaining a position on the roller, you can actually move your arm to sort of activate the muscle as you're rolling if you want a little extra something. So like if you were from rolling your calf, you might flex your foot and bend your foot. So that's just another way you can get more out of it. All right, in 3 seconds. Oh, we have to do inner thigh. Here we go. So this one's sort of weird. You can have it at an angle. And I'm just gonna roll on the side. Ooh, whoa. Inner thigh is something I forget to roll. So I have the foam roller at an angle, sort of like orthogonal to my inner thigh, which is a lot of fun. Wow. And maybe I'll put another point on the side. Again, the inner thighs may not be tight. You can just move on. Here we go. Let's find another spot. It's actually not feeling so bad. Let's go to the other side. I'm gonna go to the other side. How exciting is it to watch a grown woman foam roll? I know you've got your popcorn out. This is very exciting. So again, thinking about having the foam roller orthogonal or perpendicular to whatever you're rolling. Although at the very end we'll do something where we're actually not doing that, but here we go, 2, 1. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this at a 45-degree angle, and I'm gonna use this to roll out my pec. So this sort of goes like right here near the armpit, and you just hold it. Now, in this position, you can sort of make little snow angels. You can move this arm. Now you're not moving the foam roller with respect to the muscle, you're just moving the arm around. So you can do this, or you can just hold it, depending on how intense it is. Again, not letting my back sag into my stomach sag into the floor. And then in about 5 seconds, we're gonna rotate and rotate the foam roller, rotate me. So sort of like this. Now I have it not in my armpit, but just below. We're gonna roll the lat. So again, I can lean back a little if I want. And again, I can move this arm, or you can just keep it still. So it's always beneficial to foam roll tight muscles. Usually what will happen is your muscles will be tight on one side and underworked on the other. So working out those muscle imbalances, releasing these tight muscles and strengthening the opposing muscle groups will help with better posture, both standing or moving. Let's go to the other side. And rolling out or working out muscle imbalances will lead to better posture, less pain, less injury. It's a good idea. It's part of the whole concept. So foam roll, strength train, evening out your body. It's a little bit like playing whack-a-mole because you get even on one thing and then something else gets out of whack. What causes these imbalances to form? Usually it's because of movement patterns. Maybe you sit all day, maybe you do, play a lot of tennis, or you do one particular activity. And I'm gonna switch in 2, 1, we're all this side. So what happens is you start doing a lot of one thing, and your body says, oh, I really want to get good at this one thing. So your body starts adapting to do this one thing well. And so then certain muscle will get prioritized over others, and you build more muscle, but then the opposing muscle groups can become weaker. So like if you're sitting all the time, you're constantly contracting your hip flexors and you're lengthening your glutes. That's one example. So these kind of things can develop over time. They can be repetitive use issues. Now I'm going to rotate this foam roller so it's of my body. I'm going to have my back all the way down, and you can sort of press your back into the foam roller. If you want, you can do little snow angel arms. I'm just going to have my arms open up so I can open up my chest. Other times you can have a certain injury that like pulls a muscle, and then the rest of the body is trying to sort of heal and cope with it. So there are different ways you can get muscle imbalances, but you want to try to work them out. But I've already said that like 5 million times. So I'm not going to roll out the upper spine with the foam roller because we're going to be doing that with the ball. But we're going to flip over just one more time, and we're going to get in the child pose. And we're just going to have our arms on the ball. I'm going to have palms facing each other and just sort of sinking low. This isn't necessarily a foam rolling stretch per se, but it's just a nice stretch. And it's what I like to do, sort of conclude my little foam rolling session. You could foam roll the arms if you wanted. Ten more seconds. 2, 1, and take a break. How are you feeling? Good job. You foam rolled. I think we got most of it. So now I want to focus on some work with the ball. And for this one, I like the ball because you can sort of get into those nooks and crannies a little better than with the foam roller. I'm going to do my back, my forearms, and I'm going to do a little bit of neck and shoulder work. For the neck and shoulder work, I personally like to have a bench or a chair to sort of prop up against, because I feel like it can be hard to get the right angle on the floor. If this is really intense, some people find this really intense, you could always do this against the wall. So choosing your surface and choosing the amount of pressure that you apply is key. It's also your choice, so whatever your body is comfortable with. So first I'm going to take the ball, and I'm going to place it not on the spine, but just to the side. And I'm going to lie down on it and find a spot that's not so great. And we're just gonna hang out here. So again, if this is too intense, you can do this against the wall. It's the same principle as foam rolling. It just gets in, a little deeper and, sort of, I feel like it's sort of hard to roll spine on a foam roller. If this is not uncomfortable enough, you want to make it more uncomfortable, you can have the arm go up and back. So trying to reach the top of your hand to the ground, but not forcing it. You can also make snow angels. Ooh, you can do little swoops, like I like to think creating the letter D and just sort of hanging out, or you can just hang out. And then we're going to move down the spine a little bit more. Oh. I have a lot of tightness on here. In fact, I actually have a muscle that I'm sort of dealing with. Again, you can the ball's not moving, I'm just moving my arm. I'm activating that muscle while the ball is on it. Oof. Usually I'll just spend like 20 minutes just rolling all the way down my spine. We don't have time for that today. We're just going to do 2 spots on this side, then we're going to go to the other side. Again, if you're going to use like a tennis ball, definitely a lot less pressure. Lacrosse ball is pretty intense. You use a softball or a baseball. They also make really large ones. Ooh, let's go to the other side. Sorry. Quick. So you can improvise with something at home, or you can go and buy something specific. I have seen, like they call massage balls, and they basically look like a lacrosse ball, maybe like a little softer. But then they charge you like $12 or $15 for it, which I think is sort of ridiculous if you ask me, which is why I go with the lacrosse ball. You can buy like 2 for $5. Yeah, or just buy an old softball. Someone's always got balls laying around. Let's scroll down. Oof. Someone's always got balls laying around. 12-year-old boy in me is laughing. I am having shoulder issues, so I'm not going to do a lot of overhead stuff. Yeah, so basically I've used aerial to just sort of beat myself up. My whole upper body is just sort of dealing with stuff. Tennis elbow, shoulder impingement, pulled muscles. Yeah, not doing so great. We got another 10 seconds. And then I'm going to go onto my forearms. 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm just going to roll the length of my forearm. And here it's sort of nice. You just sort of actively press into the ball. So you can definitely adjust, however much pressure you apply. If you do a lot of grippy stuff, if you type or whatever, the forearm, trying to loosen it up a little bit. Again, if your forearm is not bothering you, then don't do it. You can do your shoulder, you can do your neck. We're gonna get to the neck after the forearms. Again, I'm just hanging out. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna roll one more time. Try to find another spot. Since you're doing forearm, you can open and close your hand as your little extra something. So wrist flexor and extensor, and also finger flexor and extensor. A lot of similar muscles in that forearm. 10 more seconds, let's go to the other side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Opening and closing the hand if you want. Other things that you might want to do, like rolling the bottom of your foot if you have some tightness or pain in your arches. That's another option. I'm not sure I'm gonna have time for that today. You could do that too, or you could go do that instead. I'm doing a lot of upper body because that's where I'm tight, but this is for you, so you don't have to follow me. All right, let's move down. Oh, yeah. So after this, I'm gonna go get a bench. I'm gonna bring my bench over to do some neck and shoulder stuff. You could, as I said, you could do this neck stuff against the wall or against the, on the floor. For the neck, I find it hard because I feel like the diameter of the ball is just small enough that it can't really reach, if I have my head lying on the ground, if that makes any sense. So that's why I like to go with the bench. Also, it sort of allows me to get into weird angles and sort of focus on things a little better. And I feel like I have more control over the pressure that's applied. All right, 2, 1, let's take a break. I'm gonna grab this bench. If you wanna grab a chair, we're gonna meet back here. And this trainer is like, okay, so now I'm going to place the ball here, and then you can place your neck against it, or you can get your shoulder in there, whatever is comfortable for you. We have a few minutes left, so just use this time to find a couple of spots and roll out, and here we go. So, a lot of us, we're all on our phones, our loading screens, and we all have a lot of neck stiffness and tightness. So, taking some time to try to loosen things up, working on mobility in this range. I have a lot of clients who just can't move their neck very much at all. And you'd be surprised how much that translates down through your body. And I've been feeling pretty tight too, so it's good to work at. 2, 1, let's move to the other side. Ooh. Again, thinking about good posture. As you're just sitting here. What do you have going on today? I am going to be hanging out. It's all rainy day here, so rainy day activities, doing some more studying, doing some work, looking on next week's newsletter. Let's remember, sign up for the newsletter. Lots of links and everywhere else on my channel. Go click on it and it's free. Okay, let's move it. Find another spot. Again, if you're not getting the pressure you want, you can always come back down, put it on the ground. Oof. So yeah, my newsletter is free. It's once a week. Usually on Sundays. I know that's a weird day. Still do it on Sundays. And sometimes there's recipes. You get to learn about classes I'm doing. You get to learn about what I'm doing on YouTube, like stuff like this. All right, one more time. 3, 2, 1. This is the last spot. Whatever you want to do, make it work. Oh, goodness. So it's the place to go to find out what I'm doing. And we got a lot of fun stuff. You can it's me blabber on. Yeah. So sign up for it. All the cool kids are doing it. Oof, goodness. This last 20 seconds, and then I will bid you adieu. Thank you so much for taking this time to foam roll with me. I hope this was beneficial, or at least motivated you to do it. I know sometimes, we think, I'll do foam rolling later, and then we don't. So it's important to make time for your body and to take care of it like this. So I thank you for taking care of your body, for hanging out with me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Until then, take care. Love you. Bye.